Hello my friends and welcome back to another video. Before I begin, I want to say thank you to everyone who has reached out about my long sickness, which kind of threw off the video schedule and uploading and stuff like that. In case you haven't heard and wondered why I wasn't really posting for a while, I got super sick, but I'm feeling better. Today's feeling good. I feel basically 100%. I'm just super tired and my body's just kind of recovering physically, but I'm feeling much better. I also want to apologize for the lighting because I know it is not very good and I look very washed out and sickly. I also just kind of look sickly, I guess, because, you know, I was sick. But those things aside, I want to get into today's video, which is going to be a little bit different. I'm going to be doing a book review, which is not something I have done before on this channel, but I'm going to be talking about this little book right here. It's called Right Outside the Box by Joseph Griffin, and he was kind enough to send me this copy so that I could talk about it and share it with you guys, because I really do think this is a great book, and I'm going to talk about it, but I do think it's a pretty neat concept. So it's called Right Outside the Box, and on top it says a creative companion for both aspiring and seasoned writers. It's basically like one of those do-it-yourself journal book things, kind of like the Wreck This journal. Is that what it's called? I think. It's a book that you can write in, and as you can see, I have done that. So this book is filled with prompts and activities to kind of get your creative juices flowing, as well as it helps you kind of organize your own story and plan out your own story. On the first few pages it says it's made for brainstorming, writing, drawing, list making, experimenting, and mostly having fun. And I definitely agree that that is what it is about. It asks a lot of questions about your own book that you can fill out, like who your target audience is, why your story matters to you. There's spaces for you to fill out the beginning, and you can write a book hook, a little slogan, write down some feelings you want your readers to feel, your writing and publishing goals. There's just a lot of really cool sort of things to fill out. The little maze that I did kind of struggled a little bit, but we got them. There's also little mantras throughout the book. This one is just write down your own mantra and write it down 20 times, but there's other ones you know, I'm a good writer, write it down 20 times or something like that. This one was kind of cool. It was a little what's on my desk thing, and I drew what my desk looks like and what I want it to look like just because I was bored. My dream writing house, that one was kind of cool, and I didn't draw it because I'm not a good artist, but it was kind of cool. It was kind of a prompt in itself because I wrote a little description paragraph, because we know how much I love description. Just describing this house and what my dream room, my office, what my dream office would look like, and just writing in it and picturing it, and it was just really cool. There's also a lot of pages in here where it just has a definition. This one is scripturient. Never heard of that actually. Noun, having desire or passion for writing. And then it's just kind of an open-ended sort of thing. And I know there's a lot of those. There's different ones. I know there was one for the ocean or something like that. And so it's kind of cool because it's sort of an open-ended activity for you to write. And then besides this stuff just for your own book, there's writing prompts. There's writing prompts that are just regular prompts if you need some ideas and just need something to write, but there's also the ones that are specific to your story, which I really like my protagonist is handcuffed to his nemesis for a day. What does that teach him or her? And so that's sort of a kind of cool way to also develop and get to know your characters, because it puts them in different positions and situations. I turned my childhood BFF into a middle grade book character. Who thinks of that, you know? So there's just a lot of really cool prompts in here, and I obviously haven't filled out the whole thing, but I definitely have written in it. I know you probably can't tell, especially near the front, but I have written in it. I have worked with it. It is pretty fun. I would definitely say it's sort of kind of like a writer's procrastination book, if that makes sense. And I think it would be really useful if you're writing your story but maybe you're stuck in a spot and so you can come to this and kind of just write randomly open-ended things. You can read back on the stuff you wrote about your own book and your own characters, and it's kind of cool just to take a break from your story but still have like writer stuff, if that makes sense. Convicted vampire on death row confesses his crimes to a priest. That one's pretty cool. I'm like going through and like starring prompts that I think are really cool and I want to go back to. Oh, here's one that's cool. It's like a game you play with friends, and it's like you write a story together, which I just think is pretty neat. It's just a lot of like really cool like activities and stuff to do. I don't want to just call it a prompt book because sometimes that can sound a little boring, but there's a lot of like really cool like activities and things to do that have you like writing, and like there's a lot of space to write. Oh, also the paper is really nice to write on. Like sometimes that's a thing where it's like I like special paper, like when a paper feels good to write on, I feel nice and it's good, you know what I mean? So I think there's a lot of things in here that would be good to kind of let off steam when you're writing and you're kind of stuck and you just kind of need a break but want to keep your head in sort of a writerly space. None of the content is like heavy or it's not a serious read of like this is how you write a story. It's definitely like a creative outlet, sort of your own, like make it your own, do it yourself sort of thing. So I'm not saying this is a guide for writing and how to write and it's gonna have everything you need for your story and you should fill it out, but it is definitely something that could be helpful as well as fun to use in the writing process. And I think it could be really good for people who aren't very good at like organization or like making lists, I guess, if that makes sense. Because like a lot of the stuff that was for your own story, like write down like your beginning and your middle and stuff like that, because it does help with that, just sort of guiding you with that, having a space for you to fill it out and brainstorm. So like I obviously have that done for my current story that I'm working on, but I think this would be a really good tool for someone who is just starting out as a beginner with writing and kind of wants a fun way to start and they don't quite know what to do. I think this could definitely be a fun way to kind of get acquainted into writing a story. And even if you're like a seasoned and experienced writer, I think it's really fun just to take a break. It's like a puzzle book for writers. Overall, I would recommend this book. There is going to be a link down below in the description. I am not getting anything from making this video. All these opinions are my own. I will say, just for the sake of honesty, if you do purchase this book through the link in the description, I will get a small portion of that. So if you are thinking about buying this, use the link in the description, help me out a little bit. But yeah, this is a pretty cool idea. And I know it's like really close to Christmas already. I think this is going up like Christmas Eve. Sorry about that. I was sick. That's my excuse. But this would also just make a really good gift for writers, in my opinion. I think any writer would really enjoy this as a present. So I think that's going to be it for this video. Thank you again to Joseph Griffin, the author of this book, for reaching out and sending me a copy so that I can share it with you guys. If you do buy it, I hope you enjoy it. It has been a lot of fun. That's all I've got for today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see y'all in my next video.